All right. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Thumbs up, please. Oh, not there, here. In the chat, can you please write thumbs up if you can hear me? All right. Meenal, Meenal ji is here giving namaste. Alexa ji is giving thumbs up. All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. Renu ji is saying Hari Om, Hari Om. Vaishali ji is saying all right. All right. So thank you for the thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right. Thank you. So it's a alarming situation in India now, especially in Kolkata, and I think there is some news from Bihar also. Very unfortunate. I saw there is some update from Uttarakhand also and Madhya Pradesh. I don't know if these two are correct, but nonetheless, the situation in Kolkata is worsening. So there was a heinous crime done against a doctor. I think she's around 31, 32. She was. I can't say she is because she's not living anymore, unfortunately. And there has been a lot of tampering of the evidence and all this that's alleged. And it is said that there was it was done in a gang. Okay, and it was not like one person came and did it. It was a gang thing. Okay, so it's a very alarming situation, not because there were protests. The protests were happening peacefully, and there's nothing wrong in peaceful protests. It's a very um, yeah, it's an integral part of democracy, and it should happen. Okay, if that's the need of the hour, although protests disrupt normal life, but yeah, under extraordinary situations people have to protest. Okay, otherwise they cannot safeguard their interest. Okay, but what happened yesterday was a very alarming situation, because yesterday there were a lot of these goons. I don't know, I mean, who they were, from where they came. They descended from somewhere. Maybe the people of Bengal can give a better explanation of that. So they came, and there was like, they destroyed whatever was there, or a large portion of what was there, and a lot of evidence was destroyed. So this is what is there in the news at the moment. And many of you have personally messaged me in Instagram and asked me about this alarming situation. Many of you have expressed your concerns, and just in case you do not know my Instagram, then I'm adding it to this chat here. I've added it already. uh, Please go and subscribe, or follow rather. All right. So in that, I have been putting a lot of stories today, and many posts also. So I have made two videos also. So if you remember, around 1 week back, I think 6 days back actually, I had put out a video, India at War, from 11th of August to 17th of September this year. So will there be protests? Will there be riots? NDA 3.0, will it collapse? Will there be emergency? Okay. So this period from 11th September to 11th August to 17th September is an extremely difficult period for India. And it is it is very usual when such periods come, that the governments of the countries of a country have they face serious consequences. Okay, so we saw what happened on 10th. This company Hindenburg, they published a report alleging something against the SEBI chairman, and on 11th this was live. Okay, so you see how accurate astrology is. We can exactly predict the day when something happens. And also from 11th, I think from 12th we are seeing this these protests happening in Kolkata, and I think this event happened on 10th or 9th. I'm not exactly sure, but it happened from last 2 3 days we are seeing. And yesterday there was like complete chaos and mayhem. I mean, I was like, I was shocked beyond my measure to see the craziness and mayhem that was happening there. And this is very similar to something what we saw in Bangladesh, like go and vandalize and do all this. So of course both are very different situations, but the acts are a bit similar, okay, to some extent at least. So therefore, somebody is asking, is this live? Well, yes, it is. All right, so the situation is very alarming in India. And today also I had put out a video where I said this is unfortunately not the end, which means this is just the beginning. You are just seeing the tip of the iceberg, okay? Now the CBI has taken the case, and the political parties, as usual, they have started their gossip politics and all this, and nobody is spared in this. There's no exception. Like the TMC headed by Mamta Banerjee, uh, she has हाथ खड़ा कर दिया है. She has surrendered. Surrendered means she has not resigned, but she said, "Oh, anyways, now CBI is dealing with this." And most of the people are saying, like, general people, not propaganda machines sitting in YouTube or Instagram or in the TV, not one-sided political news channels or YouTubers, but the people in general. They are saying that the people who did this have very strong political connections in the current ruling party, which is the TMC, and that is why the TMC is trying their best to suppress this, okay. But now this has gone out of their control, luckily, because this has spread to all parts of the world, okay. And then we have the Congress party. So I was seeing the messages of the people in the Congress party. They're very sad today. Why? Not because this case happened, or not because TMC is one of their alliance partners. That's not the reason. But because today, as you know, is also India's Independence Day, and Rahul Gandhi ji is now the leader of opposition. Now, when he was sitting, he was made to sit on the fifth row rather than the second or first row. I think he sat with the Olympians or something like that. So that is their main cause of distress. Okay, the leader of opposition of a country is sitting in the fifth row. How can that be tolerated in Indian democracy? Right? This is violation of democracy or whatever. So that is the reason why they are also very sad today. Okay, not a good day for the Congress. And then, of course, the elephant in the room, the BJP. No less, it's like everybody is competing. The BJP is saying, oh, had this incident happened in a BJP ruled state like UP, or whatever, some other state MP, you would have demanded Modi's resignation. So we demand Mamta Banerjee's resignation now. The BJP supporters, they are saying, oh, where are all these YouTubers who would make videos on dictatorship, this, that, where are these YouTubers now? Why are they not making videos? Okay, so basically the game has started. It's like the fire is there from all sides. But what is dangerous is not all this, but what is dangerous is there is no responsibility. I mean, I sometimes feel, what kind of a system is this, where, I mean, try to see the chronology, what has happened. First, the mother was called, I think. And whatever I am saying now, if anything is wrong, if anything is not correct, please write down in the comments. Okay, I don't want to spread any fake news or false information. Okay, so please correct me immediately if something is wrong. Okay. So initially the mother was called and said, that your daughter has committed suicide. So who was the one who said she has committed suicide? Was that person a doctor? And why did he say? Was he sure that this was suicide? And the situation in which she was found, this, I mean, this is no sane person would say, this was a suicide. Okay, I mean, the kind of damages which are there in the body of the girl, nobody would say, this is suicide. But why did that person say it was a suicide? So this is one thing which is very critical to know. Then who told that person to tell that this is a suicide? This is also another question. Then after 3-4 days, I think the Kolkata High Court said, this has to be handed over to the CBI. This is something which I don't understand. Why does the why does the High Court, why cannot the High Court make a decision? Now, why does the case have to go to the CBI or the ED? Why does it always have to go to the top? Like, why does the CBI, ED, or Indian Army, CRPF, Supreme Court of India, why the hell do they have to come all the time? So, if this is what has to happen, then why do you have, why do you need the high courts? Like, for example, now the Kolkata High Court is there, Calcutta High Court. So now it has given the case to the CBI. So of course they did some hearing and all this. So their job was primarily to snatch the case from the police and West Bengal police, which is under the government, and give it to the CBI. So that is all they've done. So what is the use of the High Court? And then if this is all you need to do, pass it on, then I think better is India should close off all the high courts, everything whatever is there, and put a branch of the Supreme Court in every state. This is best, because then, oh, gone to the Supreme Court, now the decision will be made. Okay, so therefore this is something which I again don't understand. Is the High Court and is the police of such a big state like West Bengal, it's not a small state, is the police so incompetent, is the police so incapable that they cannot solve this case? So this is something which is beyond my understanding. Is the police so useless? I mean, honestly, I don't think so. If the police wants, can they not solve this? What do you think? Can the police solve it? Write it down in the chat. What do you think? The West Bengal police, if they, in Hindi you say na, औकात पे आ गए तो if they come in action, do you think that the West Bengal police is not capable to solve this? If they come into action, agar agar वो औकात पे आ गए तो. Sorry, my language is not the best. So this is something I don't understand. Why the case was handled? Okay, you will give arguments, oh yeah, in the police, that there are loyalties, somebody supporting this party, that party, here, there. CBI is like neutral, CBI, ED, they're from central government. Or somebody also said, oh yeah, of course the CBI is, from the central government, and it's a enemy party, right? The BJP for the TMC, so they'll be very harsh. Okay, so if this is how it continues all the time, whatever happens, the CBI will come and they will act. Because see, the kind of ground intelligence and the kind of knowledge that the Kolkata police or the West Bengal police actually has, how can CBI have that? They can have it, of course. They can, they can have it if they want. But do you, in your sane knowledge, think that the CBI can know more than the West Bengal police? And this has nothing to do with West Bengal or any. It's the same with anything. Suppose there's something in your district, something happens. Who will know more about it? The local person, or somebody comes from Delhi, Mumbai, or wherever? Who will know better? But even after that, this case was handed over. Now, some people are arguing that, oh no, actually, why did it take 4 days to hand the case to CBI? 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, whatever. But my argument is, why, why do you need to hand over the case to some central agency? Why? Of course, they will always give their arguments. The police is not loyal and all this. But if this is how it works, every time if you have to invoke the central agencies every time, then I don't know. Unfortunately, I think there will be a time in India when the government has to pass some rule, like, for example, that law and order will be like a central subject. Now, I think it is either state or concurrent. I'm not sure, but generally the police is under the central, the state government. Okay, so those who are UPSC aspirants can correct me if law and order police is directly under the state only, or is it also concurrent, like, state and center together. But nonetheless, in general, the state commands the police. So if this is how it goes, I mean, what's the future of police? I mean, one girl was murdered and raped, and the entire freaking police of West Bengal, they cannot solve this case. The case was handed over. Now, of course, as I said, it was handed over in best interests, and because that was the need of the hour or whatever. But can you imagine what is the population of West Bengal? Let's check. West Bengal population. What is it? West Bengal population. What is it? As of now, the population is 91 million as per estimate of 2020. 91 million people. Can you imagine? 91 million. I mean, it's freaking more than Germany, where I stay. Germany's population is not that much. I think so. Let me cross check. Germany population. See, 83 million. What I said. So this is 8 crores, 8.3 crores, and 90, 91, 92. So now imagine there is a similar case which happens in Germany, and the German police says, oh, we can't do, somebody from the United Nations, or FBI, CIA, or RAW has to come and solve this. So how will you feel? That is exactly how I feel. I mean, 91 million people, you and you have to hand it over to the CBI. This is completely bizarre for me. Whatever reason there could be, but if this is how it works for every state, tomorrow there is something in UP, same. Okay, government cannot handle. CBI has to come and handle. In Manipur, you have seen what has happened. The CRPF and all these are deployed. After that, only the violence has stopped. So, if this is how it continues for every state in India, irrespective of whoever is there in the center, now BJP is there, Modi is there, he is a charismatic leader, and he has won the third time. He's able to galvanize the public, so he's winning somehow or the other. Maybe he may win 2029. So, okay, let's assume Modi is there till 2034, and let's assume after that, Rahul Gandhi becomes. Let's assume, okay, this is not my prediction, but let's assume Rahul Gandhi becomes. So then what? So irrespective of who becomes prime minister or whoever is there in the center, if this is the norm, and this is something which I have seen has become like a norm, anything happens, oh, CBI will come. They're like this holy, what is that? Holier than thou. And I've seen the people also. They are like, when is CBI coming? When is CBI coming? When is CBI coming? कब आ रहा है? कब आ रहा है? कब आ रहा है? CBI को क्यों hand over नहीं किए? So this is how. So suppose in Goa, or in some union territory, anyways, it's under central government. But let's take example of Goa. So something happens. let's assume, God forbid, nothing happens to the people of Goa, but suppose in some place, something similar happens. So again, you will deploy the central forces. Again, the central agencies will come. I mean, this is, completely bizarre. Then what is the use of having state police? I mean, so I think the thing which I said for judiciary should work here also. I mean, all the police should be everybody should be out, and then the center should appoint police. Okay, because or maybe the CBI does. There's a CBI choki or adda everywhere in every town and village. That's how it works. Because at the end you hand it over, right? So, anyways, this was done, and now what is happening? Now we saw what happened yesterday, and I am opening Facebook and I am seeing the post that I wrote. So I said in the month of August there are 6 days are very bad. So I said 11th, and on 11th the Hindenburg report came out, and I think this news also came around that time in the media. Either it was on 10th or 11th. Then 14th, and guess what? 14th was yesterday. Today is 15th August. Then which are the next worst dates? Worst. So 18th. So 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18th is coming. We don't know what will happen on that day. Then 21st, 25th, and 28th. Anyways, as I said, I don't know what will happen. But what I'm trying to say here is the month of August and September till 17th is not the best. So therefore, I know many of you have told me, that there is this protest, and two ladies in Instagram told me today that this protest and this mayhem that happened in Kolkata yesterday, they are from that region. Okay, so I'm telling to them and everybody, the days are not the best in terms of law and order. So even if you are planning to go to any protest, and I'm not saying, man, woman, I'm not speaking in those lines. If you are wanting to go to any protest, which is the need of the hour, then nothing wrong. You can participate. But please take precautions. Do not go out alone. Do not go to a protest where your friends, your colleagues, your relatives, your family members, preferably your father, brother, or husband, even if you are a boy or a man, I'm saying even for that, okay, preferably some other male member should accompany you, more than one at least. So if you know, oh, there is this protest happening, please be very careful before you go there. And anytime you feel that there is something suspicious, like for yesterday it happened, these videos are coming out where in trucks these goons have come and they've come and vandalized everything. Now imagine, they did not just vandalize the place, and they did the same thing with the other females present there. So that could have been a possibility. Or maybe whoever brought these goons, they were already ordered, go damage and get lost from there. Okay, that's your job, no other job. So therefore, especially on 18th, 21st, 25th, or 28th, we still have the 4 daunting days for this month. Okay, if you plan to go to any protests, please make sure people that especially male members, more than 2 3 are accompanying you. Otherwise, my humble request, if you are a female especially, better not to take the risk. And I'm not saying this because oh, what is this, we cannot go out, this and no, I'm not saying because of that reason. Because since the situation is difficult, it can get out of control. And imagine, in the wildest of your dreams, nobody would like to imagine something of this sort happening to you. And also, as you know, there is not much there is not much love between, the central BJP leadership and, the current TMC. They are like arch rivals, right? Just 2 months back, they ended a bloody campaign, right? Bloody, in like, like bad mouthing each other and, all this. So therefore, so don't think that suddenly, the central government will jump in and everything will be sorted, in 2 days, 3 days. No, it won't happen like that. So therefore, I'm requesting you once again, if you're a female and on these dates, I'll give the dates again: 18, 21st, 25th, or 28th. If there is any protest, please take precaution and make sure you go with your own vehicle, and somebody should be there in the vehicle if something goes wrong, so that you can leave immediately. Okay, take whatever precautions you can. Make sure you have recharged your mobile, you have connection, your parents are aware of the GPS location. They are completely aware of everything. Don't just go because you heard something is somewhere. No, it's very dangerous. The period is not good. So I'm appealing to all the females and men also. Okay, every life is precious, because you never know what happens. You have seen what has happened in Bangladesh. Now when I say Bangladesh, I mean from both sides. For example, suppose tomorrow you go to a protest and, there are 2,000 people there, and then there is another lorry comes where a bunch of another 500 hooligans are there. And imagine they come and start destroying everything. They're like creating mayhem everywhere, and you have no responsibility for that. You have not done anything. You are just a normal protester. But if they are around you, if they are with you, then for the police, you and the protester are non you and that goon, they are non different. You are the same. So suppose things go out of control, and it is very likely because the period is very difficult. So if things go out of control and the police orders, the chief minister orders, shoot at sight orders, whoever you see, shoot. And let's assume you are not aware of it. Okay, so of course I'm not saying, the police will, just open fire on all the Bengalis. I'm not saying that. But suppose something similar happens and the police shoots you, not in your head, but somewhere around, to make you run away. Would you still like that situation? Maybe not, right? Or what if it touches your, leg or hand or whatever, which was shot with an intention to make you flee, okay, not to kill you. So therefore, please take precaution. Do not just go. The days are not good. Okay, I'm saying this for the fourth, fifth time. The days are not good. If you are going to a protest, be very careful. And if you know there is a sensitive area, and sensitive area where, like, there had been history of communal clashes. Now this is not a communal angle, but again, you never know what happens. What fake news comes. Oh, this jati has abused, this person from upper caste has abused this person from the lower caste. Suppose this is a fake news. So for example, this spreads, then what happens? That's it. The lower caste, upper caste, they are fighting. Some Hindu and Muslim, somebody says something, oh yeah, gone. And whenever there is a conflict, what happens? Whenever there is a conflict, the weaker ones get butchered. So suppose you have gone to a protest and, some fake news comes, the Hindu Muslim conflict. And, in Kolkata, like, both Hindus and Muslims, they have a very sizable portion. It is not like, 10% and 90%. It is a very sizable number for both the groups, right? So if something goes wrong, there will be massacre from both sides. So it could happen from the side of the police, or tomorrow if central forces are deployed, or number three, because of some fake news, some narrative which is run by some people, it could happen, and then things could go out of control. And please do not forget this: in this mess, political people are involved. So whenever political people are involved, what happens is they will always try to twist the narrative very quickly. Okay, so now what is happening? The TMC and the India Alliance, okay, Congress, TMC, Samajwadi Party, all this, as of now, they are a bit in the back foot, because this has happened in, West Bengal, which is a part of the India Alliance. I mean the government, TMC. But suppose they, something goes wrong, suppose, and then they get a chance to twist this. Oh, now BJP has done. BJP supporter has, burned this, and it could be true. It may be false. I'm just giving an example. So then what happens? Then everybody goes to take revenge. So when this occurs, then it's mayhem. Okay, so be very careful. And so these are the worst days. So I gave three possible scenarios. So let us see among the first scenario which of the things have happened. Most of the people have told me almost everything has happened, but let us check again. So the first is there could be some terrorist attack or border skirmishes with neighboring countries like, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China. So this has already been happening in JNK. I think I saw day before yesterday another person lost his life, army jawan. So this is like already there. Okay, but there has been no major terrorist attack. Now I don't know how government defines major. How many people have to die for you to call it a major terrorist attack? But luckily it has not been there. Okay, and my Shraddhanjali to all the Jawans who have lost their lives. You have fought as a Kshatriya, and you will be awarded the heavenly planets. Number two, in scenario one, was fresh protests that could escalate into violence. This has absolutely happened. This is exactly what is happening. So till yesterday, till yesterday evening, it was a protest, and then yesterday night actually, it became vandalism. So this has happened. Then the third thing that I said, potential communal or ethnic violence in some states or regions. This is yet to happen. But again, as I said, if something goes wrong, some fake news comes, and nobody checks it, and that's how the nature of fake news is. Something goes wrong, and that's it. It's gone viral. Okay, nobody checks it. That is why I'm telling you, even if I am saying something which is not correct, please write it immediately. Fact check me immediately now. Okay, if I'm saying anything which is not correct, please correct me immediately. Okay, so this has not happened, but could be. Number four, misinformation or fake news could trigger unrest. This has also not happened, luckily. But again, these are all, like playing with fire. One thing goes wrong, and that's it. Number five, temporary internet shutdown or curfew in sensitive areas. This has not happened, but this is exactly the next step. If if what happened yesterday, if that happens another 2 3 times, then that's it. Curfew will be imposed, and there could be, shoot at site orders or whatever. Okay, and worst case precedent rule could be applied. The government might be dismissed. Okay, so this is possible. So this is the next. And if this happens, internet will be shut down. And imagine you are somewhere, and the internet is not working, there's no taxi, and anyways. Number six, criticism from international bodies like United Nations, USA, EU, UK regarding democracy and human rights. The way they keep lecturing India always, forgetting what has happened to Donald Trump and what's happening in UK now. They forget all this. But that could happen, but that's not serious. That, I think, India and Indian government is used to that. Okay, they'll always lecture, even if they are themselves in the gutter. They will always lecture. Number 7, small diplomatic setbacks for India. Some minor setbacks, like you saw with this. What was the name? Vinesh, Vinesh Fogart. I think they got the news that she will not be getting the medal. So it's some diplomatic failure. But anyways, nothing major. Okay. So these were the 7 predictions which I gave. Among the 7, except 2 or 3, the rest, except 2 actually, 3, the rest have already played. Okay. And I also got the news that Turkey is about to give this S-400 to Pakistan or something. I saw the video somewhere. But anyways, with the Olympics, this has happened. Okay. Now, this is scenario 1, and majority of this has already played out. Scenario 2. What is scenario 2? So scenario 1 was likely. Likely means it will happen almost without fail. You can almost, I can write and sign it. So this has kind of almost happened, except the fake news and the condemnation. And if there are more deaths, again UN will start. So it's a matter of time anyway. So let's assume scenario 1 is done. Now scenario 2 is probable. It is possible. Okay. And now see, I said it will get bad from 11th. And what is the date today? It's barely 15th. It's just 4 days and it's getting bad. So this means scenario 2 is not probable anymore now. Scenario 2 is now a likely scenario, like scenario 1. Okay. So scenario 2, extreme violence in some states, possibly leading to the imposition of president rule. So this is exactly like what happened in Bangladesh. No, there is violence and police is shooting. People are dying. People are dying in triple digits, 100, 200, 300 images. So it's like bloodshed. It's a catastrophe basically. People may not die. If 400 people are shot, maybe 200 of them will die. But somebody loses their hand or leg. So this could be because of vandalism or from the side of police or army or CRPF. Either ways, people are dying. And that's exactly what happened in Bangladesh. The protesters and students, they protested and it went out of control. Because you never know how things get out of control. Because in Kali Yuga, by default, things get worse. Okay. So this was the first thing which can happen in scenario 2, extreme violence. Okay. And then president rule is imposed. It may or may not be imposed, or there may be talks or something, but extreme violence. Okay. Major conflicts in the border leading to a possible war-like situation. Something similar to what happened in Pulwama. Pakistan attacked and then it was the airstrike, Balakot, Uri, all this. Okay. But it's a considerable conflict where the armed forces are directly at loggerheads. Okay. And then that also you don't know how it gets worse. Okay. Number number 3, prominent leaders could be jailed. Prominent leaders, from the opposition. Now this is very tricky because the Congress and TMC are the national opposition, right, in the Lok Sabha. But in the West Bengal, BJP is in opposition. So you don't know who will be in jail. And because the police is under the state government, so you cannot just say that opposition from the central government, only the ones who are in opposition in the Lok Sabha will be jailed. Somebody from the BJP can also be jailed. Okay. In Bengal. And then guess what happens when that happens? There will be vendetta. Then central government will try to send ED, CBI, all this to other prominent leaders of the Congress. And Rahul Gandhi ji, his time is also not the best. This is something which I've already said in my Rahul Gandhi video. If you have not watched it, There are high chances of critical situation legally for him also. Okay, so this could be a dangerous situation. And guess what happens if, hypothetically imagine if Rahul Gandhi is arrested, then that vengeance will be taken out on the people where BJP is in minority, like West Bengal, for example. So that vengeance will be taken out there. Then leaders will be picked up, and then their supporters will clash. Okay, and there is bloodshed. And then when there is bloodshed, what happens? The United Nations and the EU and US, the torch bearers of democracy, they will hammer India. So India will get a bad name. Of course, that, I mean, hardly anybody bothers, but there are so many people in India, who are very concerned about what the US and what the UN is saying. They are like, let our country go to hell, but the US should not say badly about us. So I'm I'm saying this for that category of people. So there is mayhem from both sides. Number five, health issues or demise of a prominent personality. This is again not very serious, but you never know when there is mayhem. You know what happens. Number six, significant diplomatic failure. Very significant. It's like some totally anti-India party comes into power, and now you have already seen what has happened in Bangladesh. Okay, Sheikh Hasina, she was relatively pro-India, and now this BNP and other Jamaat parties in Bengal, West Bangladesh. As of now, at least they've already started, giving threatening to the Indian government, like, oh, if you harbor, if you give shelter to Sheikh Hasina, who is our enemy, it will be difficult to have good relationships. Okay, so time will tell what will happen, but if it continues like this with Bangladesh, it will be a rough one. Okay, and then imagine all this happens. So then scenario 3 plays out. What is scenario 3? Well, that is by default the worst case scenario. So there are cracks in the NDA alliance. Okay, so the current government with BJP having 240 seats, that may be challenged, and the government might fall, and there could be prolonged instability in India. Okay, or at least for a few months, 2 3 months, 6 months. Okay, so that's a disaster because there is no government who will protect the people. Okay, if there is a war or whatever, I mean, what happens, right? So terrible instability. This is like the third scenario. And the second point for the third scenario, martial law or emergency could be declared temporarily or permanently. Not permanently, but temporarily it could be declared across the entire country. Okay, so this is when things are completely out of control, and that's it. The central leadership says that's it. We are now invoking emergency. And I've heard that after Indira Gandhi ji had put emergency, lot of changes have been done in the Indian constitution. I had seen a video once, but still, if politicians want to do that, who can stop them, right? Of course, that's an extreme scenario, and I honestly don't think that will happen unless things go very wild. Okay, if every major state there is violence, then they will do it. Otherwise, not. Okay, at best they may dismiss the government and impose president rule and all this. And West Bengal especially has already a history of violence, just like Manipur especially. Like in West Bengal, there was this violence in Sandesh Khali which happened. Okay, so if you already have history of violence, then there are old loyalties and old animosities, which are waiting to surface whenever there is, whenever they get a chance. All right, so I am warning everybody again: the time is not good. Try not to go out in the night alone, especially. And if you are going to any protest, make sure you are very, very, very safe, and the way out of the protest should be clear. If all hell gets, all hell breaks loose, you should know where your car is. Don't depend on taxi and Uber and all this. Go with your car, and the driver should be sitting in the car so that you can run for your life if required. All right. Okay, so thank you so much. This is what I had to say. The time is very dangerous, and I do not want to create fear, but be careful. So now the good thing is we know astrology. So using astrology, I've given you the dates. So I'll repeat once again for the last time: 11th, 14th, 18th, 21st, 25th, 28th of the month of August. So 18, 21st, 25, 28. These 4 days are still remaining. And yesterday was 14th, and you saw what happened, right? And these will be quadruple, this will be compounding. So yesterday there was vandalization. So now on 18th, the police may fire. I mean, just my speculation. So that's like the most likely scenario, right? Or a lot of properties are destroyed, and on 21st there is again some protest, and then the police says, now shoot. And then, by 25, the CRPF comes or whatever, and then they shoot somebody. Okay. So these 4 dates are not the best. So be very careful. All right. Be on your be on alert basically. And the moment you see something difficult, report it to the police. Okay. Very, very, very important. All right. Around 80 people. Let me see if somebody has made any interesting comment or has any question. Meenal, Meenal Aurora is saying very worried about this situation. Families in India. Yes, many people have told me they are outside, but their families are in West Bengal. Okay. Jagdish ji is saying Hari Om. Jyotika Srivastav is saying all right. Om, increase of Kali Yuga, no morality. Yes, morality is going down. फैशन ट्रेंड्स मोदी सरकार कब तक चलेगी 2025? I mean, I don't see. I mean, I have not made any analysis, but I mean, non-astrologically, if I see how the government is going now, I doubt the government will fall, provided they survive 17 September. Before that, anytime this can happen. I've already made the prediction. Okay, so after 17 September, maybe they should be doing fine till April next year. This is my astrological analysis. Okay, so from 17 September to around April, end of March next year, they should be able to capitalize. Even if there are problems, the government may not fall. Okay. But again, I have to analyze this Modi ji's chart and the other leaders, and only then I can say. Okay. What is that? MMSC saying this is truly bizarro world. Yes, indeed it is. Deva Malya Ghosh, will Mamta resign? Mamta Banerjee, well, unfortunately, I do not have her birth details. I just have her date of birth, and politicians most likely give the wrong birth details. So unless somebody is really their trusted source in the Trinamool Congress, I cannot make a prediction for her. Unfortunately, I would love to do it, but I cannot. But yeah, if situation goes like this, there could be precedent's rule applied in Bengal, as I have said already. If it goes like this, if they are able to control, then it's fine. If not, maybe it's time up for her. Will Kolkata government fall? Well, this is again the same. Fashion trends. I have heard that the deep state is paving way for Antichrist soon. Do you know about it? I have no idea of this. Yeah, there's a lot of talk on deep state, CIA, and all this, and everybody knows they keep doing all this. Okay, and in Fox News there was one person who came. I think he was the ex director of CIA or something like that, and he said already that we keep doing this always. In 1950s 40s we used to do this more, but now we do in the name of democracy. So whenever the United States of America makes a statement that we need to protect democracy in this country or that country, then the leader of that country's days are numbered. I mean, I didn't say this. This is what he said. It's there in Fox News. You can go and check. Okay, ex-CIA director. I wish I remembered his name. I could have written it in the chat. Rishi Singh, when all this end, well, I can't say that, but till 17 September, it's very critical. So be on alert. After that, also there could be issues, but I think it will lower down. Monica Wagji is saying, Jai Shri Krishna, sir. Jai Shri Krishna. Dev Malia ji, I have answered. Suman Adak is saying, Hare Krishna. Monica ji is saying, it's terrible to hear the Kolkata incident. After hearing the incident, can't sleep. Yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, it's very tough. Vishwajit Dehuri is saying, Modi karna hauchi Bharat ko viksit karibani. I think you are saying Modi wants to make India a developed country by 2047. Let's see if that happens. Biswajit ji is saying, Kintu Modi ra kama hauchi Bharat Islamic country kari deba. Okay, will India become an Islamic country? Could happen the way it is going now. If it goes like this, and yeah, I mean, we never know what happens. But anyways, I don't think that will happen. But anything could happen. Okay. Sir, please tell us Mamta will resign and this madness. Again, I said I don't have her birth details, so I cannot say. But if it goes like this, maybe she has to resign or she will be dismissed. You're fired. No, sir, police works for Mamta. This is exactly what is the problem. Everybody is saying this. Okay, this is where the problem is. Every time the CBI has to come in. So, what's the use of the state police? Shubhankar Royji Singh, last night one of my friend was in RG Core protest. Police was involved in the vandalism. Look at this. I mean, look at this. The police is involved in the vandalism. Oof. So that means this is not police anymore. It's like, it's a part of the goons basically. They are also becoming the goons. If this information is 100% correct. Manok ji Singh, is CBI great? 4 years to date, nothing doing by CBI. Well, I don't know. This has become like a pattern. Something happens and nothing comes out. Like with President Trump, also this happened. They shot him, and there was just this. One boy goes and shoots him, and he's, for God's sake, the ex-president of the United States, protected by the secret services, the most powerful security agency of the world. And till date, this happened on 13th of July. And what is the date today? Today's date is 15th. So more than a month, and there is no answer. कुछ पता नहीं कौन था, क्यों आया, क्यों मारा. You ask Americans, they have no answer. A president is ex-president is come and shot, and he's like the bullet goes like this, and they don't have an answer. So I don't know. This has become like a pattern, in India, in some other countries also. Just dismiss it, or just because, see, the people forget how many people are now talking about Donald Trump's assassination attempt. How many? Not anybody. Maybe you are hearing from my mouth after 1 week, 10 days, and after 10 days, I will also maybe not talk about it. So that's a very brilliant strategy, right? Now with this case, now people are fired up. Everybody is angry. Everybody wants results from the CBI, from Mamtaji's resignation and all. But suppose nothing happens and this goes on 5 days, 10 days, and people are like, okay, people will forget, nothing will happen. So I think this is becoming like a norm. It's a very dangerous norm. I don't know. I see it in the US, and maybe now it's happening in India. But in India, good or bad, the central government is different from this party. So maybe for their political advantage, they will try to bring out the answers, capitalize it. Okay, so that's one good thing in India. There's so many political parties, they are like ready to bite each other. So it's very difficult for one party to do something wrong for very long. Okay. All right. Police gets cut money from these politicians. Yeah, very dangerous. This is what I was saying. Very, very, very bad. Shraddha Hazarika, hello sir from Delhi. Hello Shraddha, how are you doing? Shantanu Acharya saying, did they hand over Hathras and murder case to CBI? Well, I honestly don't know, but because this was in UP and this was in the same government, I think they might have not, or maybe they have handed. So please write it down if somebody knows. Manokji is saying basically corruption from top down. Yes, indeed, 100%. Shantanu Acharya is saying CBI is a complete failure in every case. Recall Arushi murder case. What can I say? Manokji is saying useless police, shameless police, so handling is okay with police as they are inefficient. This is very unfortunate that we have to say like this about the police of a particular state. It's very unfortunate. Sri Ram Venkataraman is saying PM chair is not bed of rose, so Modi ji is only capable to handle and clean up today for sure. For this patient requires, yeah, that is correct. A lot of patience is required. At the end, I hope they can offer a solution and the culprits are hanged. Okay, Shantanu ji saying CBI and ED is always used against only non-BJP states. Why there is no ED in Hindenburg case? Well, what can I answer? So this is very true. Non-BJP states, and I think it is not just with BJP. It is also when the Congress was in power. They had put Modi also in this Gujarat riots case. For 9 years, 10 years. Yeah, this is very unfortunate. Ideally, how it should happen is these bodies should be independent. But the problem is, how do you appoint their leaders? Some politicians will always have the hand. That's the problem. So ideally they should be completely independent and they should not show mercy on a current government's MP or a opposition, but unfortunately it does not happen like that. I think now Modi has appointed a new ED head. His name is also Rahul. Oh, God save. Silky567 is saying, I'm from UK. Hope you are staying safe. I am safe in Germany. I hope you are doing good too. From UK. UK situation is also complicated. MM is saying, Namaskar, Guruji. Namaste. It's a pleasure watching you live. Thank you for joining. It's the same to interact with you. All right. Is saying, watching from US. Can you predict who will be next US president, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump? Well, first of all, I am still doing the analysis, but the problem with US is, considering what has happened last time, half of the country believes, not half, at least 30-40% believe, the elections were rigged. Now, I'm not saying that they were rigged, but the country believes. So I don't know if this analysis even makes sense. And you see how it happens, when Trump was like shot, or attempted assassination attempt was there on him. So he was there, all the screens, like it's Trump, Trump, Trump. And when the media had to kick out Biden, every time you open CNN is a hardcore supporter of the Democrat Party. So you open CNN and what do you see? Oh, Biden is bad. Biden is terrible. Biden problem, all problem. Biden is doing this mistake. Suddenly, suddenly out of nowhere, Biden has become the most terrible president. Okay, those days, just see the news. 10 days before he declared that he won't run for the next presidential campaign, and before that, I think June, Trump and Biden had that debate, and from that time, his performance was very bad, and he made multiple gaffles. Okay, so CNN just showed that he is the most terrible creature to have been born. And now when he has decided, now Biden is good again. Or maybe Biden is there no more in CNN. Okay. So, and now they are like pushing Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris will come and, save everybody when she is back to office, but forgetting that she's already in office now. And with Trump, you have seen. what has happened with this Elon Musk thing. They've had, like 1 billion views. So honestly, nobody knows what's going on in US, but I will still try to make a prediction if I can do the analysis. All right. Santanu Acharya ji saying the goons are being apprehended and they belong to the BJP. Okay, okay, that's a serious matter. Silky ji saying, can you do a reading for UK? Well, I'll try. Modi and Mamta has set up. Could happen. You never know what politicians do behind doors, right? You never know. BJP is trying to fan communal fire in this case by twisting the narrative. Yes, could happen. Politicians, after all. Suman Adak is saying you are right. Okay, thank you. Dayanandji is saying the days are not good in my view, and Saturn and Sun mutual aspects, Mars. Yeah, difficult days. Dayanandji. Then Gaurav Bhatt is saying, what is that? Top chat. Where is the chat? All right. Okay. Gaurav Bhatt is saying, hello, sir. PKM is asking, any Shanti practice process should be done to compensate in such a fearful. Already, world is on a verge of third world war. God is there to save in this situation. Well, do your spiritual practices diligently and try to make peace. Okay, to whatever extent possible. Hyzen is asking, when will this end? Any predictions? Well, I've already said in the video. You can go and watch it. Okay. Raghav Chadha is asking, sir, can chanting Mahamantra be enough to protect oneself? Well, if you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you don't need to do any major astrology remedy. That's it. Hyzen is saying, Devika ji namaste. Hyzen is saying, Bhairav Japa has been increasing in India. Do you think Bhairava will help? Well, of course he will, but the thing is, with the things going on now, India is not at the center. Of course, India is in a mess now, but yeah. PKM is saying where exactly this yoga happened when. So this is a time similar to Pulwama and all this farmer protests and NRC protests and violence that you saw in India, 2019-20, around that time. All right. Any chance happened in India has been starting from Bangladesh. I mean, as I said, whatever has happened in Bangladesh can happen in India. It is like a worst case scenario, but can happen. Okay. Sibani Panda is saying, Namaskar, sir. Hare Krishna. Pragaman ji is saying, can you predict AI will take over military establishments across the world? That's an interesting question. I will have to see it, but how do I analyze this? Good question. Radha Madhav ji is saying, hello, good evening. Hello. When is the entire chaos engulfing the state of West Bengal going to end? Till 17 September. Don't expect it to end. Or even if it ends, the craziness may be transferred somewhere else. Okay, some other new news might come. Okay. Tulika Pandey is saying, what can we do for Bangladesh Hindus? Well, I think we should discuss that in another session. All right. I'm yet to make a session on Bangladesh life. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Please take care and please take precautions and please understand the time is not the best in India, especially if you are there. Please take precautions. All right. Radha Bhav is asking, which state will be safe in India from all such things? I don't know which state will be safe. I cannot answer this. I have to see the horoscopes of every chief minister only, then I can understand. Okay. Marcus is asking what kind of discussion is going on. You are not answering. What is your question, Marcus? How about Saturn at 29 degree 9th house Kumbha Rashi for Gemini natal chart? Please explain. Well, you need to get a consultation from an astrologer, okay? Because I don't know where is your Lagnesh, what is your uh, D1, where how's your Bhauchalit chart, how's your D9. So I have no idea. So for me to answer this like this, it won't make sense. Okay. Like, for example, Saturn in ninth, it can give you a lot of things. Okay. It can be good for your spiritual life, it can be very bad. So it depends on your chart. All right. Smith Kashyap is asking, what about Punjab? The situation in Punjab is, anyways, not the best. So be on alert. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining more than 65 minutes. And I hope you enjoyed the podcast today, which I posted with Dr. Ankit Shahji on how and when, India will become a superpower, or if at all India needs to be a superpower. BRICS, gold, and geopolitics. All right. And the video has almost reached around 10,000 views very quickly. So, in case you have not seen it, please watch it. You will enjoy it. It's a non political conversation, but a fantastic one. All right. And I will invite more such interesting, knowledgeable personalities to the channel for podcast. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Please take care. Be alert. Be aware. Savdhan rahe, satark rahe. Please take care. Okay. Thank you so much. See you again soon.